everybody, thanks so much for joining me today. If you're new here, hi, my name is Katie Denor. Thanks for joining me today, and we're going to be learning all about hammer-ons and pull-offs for the beginner. So hammer-ons and pull-offs are a great way to kind of bust into the intermediate zone, because what they do is that you're playing notes without necessarily plucking them. They also increase speed and dexterity, and lots of riffs contain hammer-ons and pull-offs. A hammer-on happens when you hold a note on a fret or an open string, and then tap or hammer the string with another finger. So the sound actually comes from the string hitting the fret. So for example, what I'm going to do is I am going to pluck my open A string with my thumb. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ring finger, because I feel like finger's pretty strong. You could try this with your index finger, your middle finger, or your ring finger. That is totally fine. I'm just using this right here because I'm used to it. And then I'm going to pluck the string and then tap my finger and then push down on the string. You can actually hear the hammer-on without me plucking the string first. Hear that? And so what happens is that the actual sound comes from the string hitting the fret. Like that. So if I pluck the string first, and then I hammer on, the string is already vibrating because I plucked the string, and then I'm just continuing that vibration by hammering on, and that string hits the fret. So it just sounds a little bit more pronounced than if I were just going to use my finger. Then if I pluck the string and I hammer on the third fret right here, you can hear that sound just come out just a little bit more than if I were just going to use this finger right here. So if I have a pluck, hammer on to the third fret. This could also occur that if I'm holding a string, let's say the third fret right here, and then I'm going to hammer on to the fifth fret of the A string. Now here's a little tip. I feel like I get the best sound when I'm closer to the fret, not directly on top of it, because otherwise you're going to get a muffled tone. But if you're noticing, man, that hammer-on didn't come out as strong as I wanted it to, just move your finger over just a little bit. For example, I'm just going to move it back. It's still on the third fret, but if I move it back, yeah, it seems just a little bit muffled, but if I bring it closer to the fret, for me, I feel like that sound is just a little bit more pronounced when I'm moving closer to the fret. The other thing is that if you are plucking a string before you have a hammer on, pluck that one just a little bit more. Give a little bit more effort, because the string is already vibrating and has a really strong sound when you're plucking it. And then when you hammer on, that's just going to be more so of like a transfer of energy to make the second note on your hammer-on just sound that much more punchy than maybe just a little less muffled. Now, a pull-off happens when you pull a finger off of the fret, pulling or strumming the string. Apply pressure to the string, drag it down until your finger pulls off of the string, essentially plucking it. So I have pressure applied to the third fret. I pluck the string. I drag the string down until the tension is so great that it just can't take it anymore. And then essentially strumming the string. Now, a lot of people, when they start this, what happens is that they have a tendency to pull too much. And they can even pull their strings even off of the nut, or play like, hear that? Yeah, you don't need as much pressure as you think you do. Try to be a little bit more on the gentle side at first, and then if you want to try like beyond the extremes to kind of find a happy medium, that's too much, too little, but still you can hear it, right? Try to find that happy medium so that you're not pulling your strings off of the fretboard. And now we have a hammer-on and a pull-off exercise. If you want some more exercises, those can be found on my Patreon page. I will link that in the cards above and the description box below. A hammer-on is notated with an H, and a pull-off is notated with a P. First, I pluck the open C string, and then I'm going to hammer on to the second fret of the C string. Now I'm going to try the E string, but I'm going to pluck the open E string and hammer on to the third fret. Now I pluck the open A string, and hammer on to the 3rd fret. So it will sound like this. Try that again. For the pull-off exercise, it's almost the same thing as the hammer-on exercise, but it's going to be reversed, and we're going to be pulling off of the string. First, I place finger number 3 on the 3rd fret of the A string. I'm going to apply pressure, push down. I'm going to pluck it and pull off. Same thing, E string. Now, 2nd fret, C string. So it sounds like this. Sometimes you may, like especially with a pull-off, you may accidentally strum another string. It's okay because you're kind of learning how much pressure to apply to the string, how much you really need to actually pull off, or just the range of motion that it would take in order to create a clean pull-off without strumming the other strings. So if that's a little frustrating, it's okay. Just give yourself some grace. Say, all right, I'm a beginner at this, or I've been at this riff for a little bit, but it's okay. It's not always going to be that way. You will adjust with your muscle memory the more and more you do it. So experiment with these exercises. Start with one string and then go to the other. You could actually play these with a metronome and then try to speed them up. Hopefully this helped you. Let me know if there's something else that you would like to learn or a technique that you're curious about, and I would be happy to make a video about it. Have a wonderful day. Bye.